Hey guys, it's Dan, your host here at Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back with another Walking Dead video. Of course, this one is going to be my next review for The Walking Dead Season 4. This one is going to be for The Walking Dead Season 4, Episode 14, which is called The Grove. Now, this is probably one of the most insane episodes they've ever done for The Walking Dead. Probably the darkest, I'd say, one of them. This episode, they kill off two characters, and it's just absolutely insane. Every time I see this episode, it's always so freaky, I really can't believe that this episode, is so likable, because I actually do know some people that like this episode, but this is an insane episode. This is an absolutely insane episode. Pretty much, you get to see in this episode a really dark send-off for both Lizzie and Mika. And it was insane. I mean, it was insane. So, covering this episode on this channel is very difficult, because this is a really insane episode. So let's just talk about this episode. So, so now after Alone, this one honestly has like nothing to do with what's been going on in the last couple episodes with Daryl and Beth or Maggie and her group or anything like that. Because we have separate groups, it's more difficult, it's more different, and I do like that change quite a bit. So you pretty much get in this episode, now, I did like how they opened it. You have Lizzie running around with the zombie. So that was very freaky. It kind of ties into a part later on in the episode. So I did like that quite a bit. So you pretty much go from that to getting a full-on massacre of these two characters throughout this episode. Well, not massacre, but just absolutely insane. So then, of course, you've got them who are they're walking. You've got a nighttime scene where Carol actually talks about Sophia to Lizzie. So I did like that quite a bit. And I also did like how in this episode you had different storylines going on. Like Tyrese has his kind of story arc, and Carol's got her own things that she's dealing with, and they're all kind of, I like that, kind of idea in an episode. I like when, of course, they're walking around the train tracks. Carol's telling the story about, so they didn't get to finish the book at the prison, so Carol's telling them how it ended or whatever. Just some cool moments here. Tyrese having a nightmare and, different stuff like that. So, not too much going on around here. And I will say that this stuff was the least, my least favorite stuff of the episode. Like, the first, 5-10 minutes type of deal. But once you find the Grove, once you go to the Grove, and they find it, they see the smoke, and, Carol's like, no, it's out now, or whatever, because it's not black anymore. So, so I did like how, that kind of, ties into Terminus later on, so that's really cool. However, they go there and, they're having fun or whatever. It's just kind of normalized pretty much. And then you get, of course, the scene with Lizzie in the walkers. So she's running around with the walker, and, you get Carol who goes out there, and, she's like, no, with the walker right behind her. I'm just like, are you actually serious? Like, I know she's probably 9 or 10, maybe. But, I mean, come on, that's twisted, She's like, no, as the walker's behind her. I'm just like, really? But anyway, so, you've got Carol who kills it. She's like, man, she's dead, what'd you do? And, she's screaming, you killed her. And I like how during this episode, too, Carol's just realizing, okay, what the heck is going on? Like, she's noticing it's pretty serious. So, Lizzie is dealing with that. And I like when Carol's like, now do you understand what they are? Then next day she's feeding a rat, right? So you go to the rat scene, and pretty much you've got, Mika, who's she knows. Mika's like, these people are not alive, they're not okay, they're dead, And Lizzie just looks at it as, you're all wrong, and that, she just doesn't understand that, you know, they're walkers, and us as fans were like, come on, you know. But at the same time, we're creeped out because we're seeing all these things going on with Lizzie and, you know, all that stuff. And then you get the scene, you've got a couple other random sequences here that are just kind of character moments. Like you've got Mika and Carol, she can't shoot the deer. She's too nice, you know, that type of deal. And, you know, that's never good, you know, when you're too nice in Walking Dead. You know, you pretty much get killed off. So, yeah, then you've got the water scene with her and Tyrese, with Carol and Tyrese. I did like when he was talking about Karen, and she's kind of like, kind of like, yeah, well, little does he know, you know. So, then you've got, you know, the dark stuff. So the dark stuff starts to happen. They see the charred walkers. They run back, and they start shooting them. And Lizzie herself, and they all start shooting them. But she views it as she had to. You don't have to kill every one of them. She had to do it. She had no choice, so she did it. You know, and I do think that that's, you know, that's something right there. So, yeah, so pretty much then you've got Carol and Tyrese who they start walking back. You know, just some kind of calm dialogue, and then boom, they throw it right in your face. Lizzie kills Mika. You see the knife, okay, and this I was freaking out, so I was like, you know, I was starting to freak out pretty much, because I mean that's an insane sequence. You know, when all of a sudden they're walking, it's a nice scene, and it's just like perfect, you know. And then you see the knife. Oh my god. You see the blood, and you just see her in the back just dead there, you know. And it gets even worse because when Carol's like, you know, she's like, we can wait, you know. And little does she know, you know, it's just Lizzie is just not going to understand. Carol keeps struggling with herself. She's like, she's gonna understand. She tells Cyrus, she's gonna understand. Things will be okay. And it just won't, you know. It just simply won't, you know. And, you know, same thing. It's not getting through to Carol either. She doesn't want to believe it, you know. That's something right there as well. She's trying to hold herself back from thinking that Lizzie is messed up, you know. You know, she's trying to make herself believe that Lizzie will change, and she just won't, you know, she never will. And the insane part is that when she killed Mika, probably one of the craziest parts of the episode, it was so tiny, but when she said, we can wait, you know, like, you know, we should take Judith in the house. Oh, but I was just about to, and then she gets interrupted. I was like, are you stupid? Like, oh my god. You don't need to kill a baby. That's just, oh my god. She really she doesn't understand a darn thing about this. So Carol just, you know, has her moment, and they realize, they come to the conclusion, they have to put her down. So Carol, Tyrese is like, I can't, you know, I can't be the one. So Carol leads her out, and, you know, there's a quick moment between the two where, you know, she's like, I'm sorry, I wanted you to wait, type of deal. And then she's like, I love you, Lizzie, and all that kind of stuff. And then she's like, look at the flowers, and she puts her down. So, and Tyrese sees the whole thing too. So, oh my god. So you pretty much take out both of the girls in this episode. Couldn't even believe that. That was insane. So, of course, as if this episode wasn't crazy enough, you get Carol who tells Tyrese, I killed Karen and David. If you want to kill me, you know what? I don't have too much hope left. So, you know, this is the perfect time for me to tell you that I killed Karen and David. So, yeah, and then he's like, I forgive you, I forgive you. He goes for the gun, you know, he goes for the gun, that's for sure. But, he forgives her, you know, because he's just, and that, you gotta admit, that takes a lot for him to, you know, be like, I forgive you. That, you know, not everybody would, you know, really. You know, that's a big move for him to do, and that's a really nice guy thing to do. So, yeah, so her, baby Judith, and Tyrese leave the grove. They can't stay. They can't stay, you know. Tyrese is like, we could stay, but after that, you know, you can't. Yeah, I think they both realize that too. So, there it is, guys. There is episode 14 of The Walking Dead as the smoke is, you know, lightened, and they leave the grove. and that's the end. So we don't actually see them until season 5, but just wanted to say, absolutely insane episode, and I'm just thinking all the stuff they put into it. To rate this episode, you can't deny that this episode was absolutely insane. You really can't. I'm just still freaking out after seeing it. I've seen this episode I think 5 times now. I've rewatched Walking Dead so much; it's actually insane. To score this episode of The Walking Dead, I'm gonna give this, and I know a lot of people probably won't agree. I'm putting this as a 9.8, and that is a really high rating. 9.8 is almost perfect. I just thought it did so much for Carol, so much for the characters. It was such a character-centric episode with the darkness mixed in there. And I felt like this episode, honestly, this might be one of the best episodes in terms of how it was filmed, in terms of the acting. This might, if you're saying acting wise, if that is a big, if that affects you a lot, acting in The Walking Dead, then I would definitely say this would be one of your favorites, if not your favorite, because the acting is just absolutely insane. It pulls you into like every scene, and I couldn't love this episode more. I just couldn't. This was just an absolutely crazy episode. So make sure to write your comments down below about this absolutely crazy, dark, character-driven episode. And write your comments below. I'll do my review for episode 15 and 16, and then maybe after I do those 2 reviews, we'll take a little break or something. Until season 5 or something like that, like a 2-week break or something. Then start my season 5 reviews and 6. So, absolutely insane. The Plague tonight, really cool, and Fear the Walking Dead. So, really cool. So anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.